Hey Clashers, and welcome back to another video. And today we are going to take a look at a new Town Hall 14 strategy, and this is this one right there. We have a combinations of Yetis and we have super archers. This strategy got actually used by Torilla Tavantan in this last chance qualifier at the World Championship, and they were pretty successful. The only thing which I felt like was really lacking on the strategy is the flexibility, because they always brought 4 earthquakes. So I switched that out. I use instead like a rage, and I use instead like 2 jumps, which I feel like is totally fine, and we don't really need those earthquakes. So now let's take a look at how we can actually make that work. But before, one quick reminder, because there's some offers in the shop. If you're thinking about buying any of them, make sure to use the code ITSU. Thank you so much for that. And now let's dive into the attacks and see how good this strategy actually is if we use it in Legend. The first thing which I have learned from Torilla Tavantan using this strategy is you have to take down the eagle. The eagle is way too big of like a big threat to your troops, and with this you always have to go for the eagle. So this is like the biggest thing. On this base though, how do we approach there? Like, do we go into the clan castle compartment? Do we go into the bomb tower? What is our goal? And I feel like we are going to go into the clan castle compartment with our main push. We're going to use the king though to open up the other compartment. The next thing about this strategy is at the moment there's only 1 super wall breaker. Maybe you want to mix things up and use 2 super wall breakers. That's totally fine as well, obviously. But yeah, with having 2 jumps, you can sometimes just use the first jump only for this first layer of wall to actually get into the base, because as I said, there is only 1 wall break. With this being said, we're pushing out into the base. We're having the poison for the defending clan castle. The king is pushing in there as well, and so far so good. But now you might think, Itsu, there's so many spells left, what are you going to do with them? Well, the answer is pretty simple, to be honest. Those skeleton spells are actually meant for tanking single inferno towers, tanking scatter shots, or tanking defending heroes. Those are the biggest use cases of using those skeleton spells. So you might wonder, like, why exactly is he bringing that? As I said, just for back-end support purposes of overpowering hero compartments, scatter shot compartments, things like that. And it's working pretty good. Now we save this rage. Like, you have to really be careful about where to use the rage. I was thinking, okay, I want to use the rage for taking down the town hall with our super archers, because we had not that much power left in this core of the base. With not having any healers, you really need to be careful. The key thing I figured out is with this RB composition to try and get those Yetis not stacking on top of each other. On Town Hall 14, there's just too much splash damage. Wizard the towers, even mortars, scatter shots, multi-inferno towers, things like that. As soon as they're stacking on top of each other, or the eagle itself, those Yetis are going down pretty quickly. And that's a big problem, obviously. So you want to have spread them out a little bit and make sure that they're not taking too much splash damage. For us on this base though, we took down the back end. Warden took down the last expo, and with this our queen can reach everything, and we secured our first 3-star. So let's do the checklist again. Eagle, one of the biggest threats, you always want to go for it. The next one, be careful with your rage, and to be honest, if you want to be more flexible, maybe another 2 freezes might be better. Pick your best ideas over there. But now let's dive into the next one, because again, we want to go into the eagle. On this one, I feel like we could jump directly into the eagle and wall break the king into the left or into the right expo. What is the next step? I feel like now that I could actually place the lock launcher in an angle that I can open up the compartment of the eagle and the compartment of the king from the expos together to get everything together, pushing into the core with this lock launcher push. This was the overall idea which I had, so let's see if we can actually make it work. Wall break has worked so far, the jump is in place as well. We're deploying our Yetis. And as I said, maybe I'm deploying my Yetis too spammy, which sounds strange because this army is, if we're completely honest, is spam attack, which is fine. But you still have to be careful with your deployments, because you can see our Yetis really do not have a good time because there's just so much splash. Now using the skeleton spells for the bottom side to make sure this how you say, the Inferno Tower compartment is getting tanked with the Warden ability as well over there. I'm using the Rage actually to rage up my Headhunters, which I use to take down the defending King. right now it's looking really good, except this freeze, but still, as long as this town hall is going to drop, we are looking really good. So this is like the second next thing, or like the overall next step in learning this strategy, is I feel like if you have one big ball of groups, one big ball of troops, and all of them are clumped together, this is, as I said, not the optimal thing. You want to have them spread out like I did in this on this attack, like on this base. You want to spread them out, and it did work out perfectly. The town hall is going down. The queen took down everything at the top left side. Our royal champion is coming in, still with her ability, and this should be the next phase on our road of using this strategy. So yeah, again, Eagle taking it out early, and you need to be flexible with your lock launcher, making sure that the lock launcher not only is opening up for your main squad, but as well for the king, and making sure that everything is then pushing into the space and you're opening up as much as possible, because on this attack it feels like you really want to have the troops spreading out. This is like the key to make this attack strategy work. So at the end, everything is going down. The 3-star is ours. So let's dive into another attack and another base, if we can repeat this success story and get another 3-star with this really wild looking strategy. Like the first time I saw it, I thought the red avatar would be completely trolling. Well, let's see. Next base, and this time though, I think this time we're going to use the blimp. Why exactly? This base is super open, right? So we don't really need the lock launcher in that regard. So we just need to create the pathing for our Yetis. That's the key thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to blimp this scatter compartment. I feel like it should be pretty good. Taking the scatter down, and with the scatter and single firmament tower being down, I think there's really good pathing created, which is key for this strategy to work. So let's dive right into it. But at the same time though, we need to be careful because we don't have any Coco Loons. So yeah, we make it somehow into the compartment, which is the key. Final Yeti with the wizard behind, and then the clan castle is getting looted out as well. So far, so good. What is the next step? Again, you have to already figure out in the beginning where you want to deploy your skeleton spells. Those skeleton spells are not good into multi-firmament towers or into the town hall. Those are the two key things which you should not do if possible. So instead, I'm going to use them for the expo. I thought, okay, let's just deploy all of those 4 spells for the expo, so they are tanked. Now Royal Champion can clear the entire side. I think first off, the skeleton spells were a little bit too early, to be honest. But now we're pushing in. Yetis are pushing in. The super archers are pushing in. Everything is looking good, so we can use our headhunters to overpower those defending heroes. The Royal Champion is in there, and we can exactly see what I meant with using that my skeleton spell were too early. They already ran out when my Royal Champion actually reached those expos. So the skeleton spell timing was not optimal at all. Things which I'm not really used to be honest. But as I said, if you're interested in learning the strategy, that's definitely something you want to look into. Now we're pushing all the way to the back end town hall. We have still the freezes and the jump to get into the compartment. The Royal Champ took down the right side with the expo, which is key. At this point, the town hall should go down because our king is jumping in there, took it down really nicely. But now the queen is jumping inside the compartment as well, which is kind of like a big problem, because as soon as there are troops walking into the town of poison and you don't have any healers, that's not the best thing, right? Like, that's not the best thing. So yeah, that's unfortunate, but either way, we now push further inside. We get the single firmament tower out of the way, which is key. And now those archers. But wait a second, the archers actually take a huge shot from this mortar, and this is quite unfortunate. Obviously, this is really unfortunate because this means a lot of hit points are missing. But wait a second, we have the unicorn coming in clutch. The unicorn is trying to save this attack, saving those super archers. But wait a second, this warden, we need the HP on the warden because it's giving a lot of HP then to our super archers, and obviously providing some extra DPS. But since the range of the warden is kind of big, and the same thing is for the super archers, time is ticking low. Time is ticking really low. The minion at the top, that's not really helping at all. The wizard not really helping either, and this means it's going to be a fail at the end. It was kind of fun trying out this strategy. Let me know what you think about this strategy. And well, guys, thank you so much for watching as well, obviously. Watching this kind of like a strange strategy episode video. And guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys back tomorrow for the next video. Until then, see you guys, and bye-bye.